Fucking unbelievable. There we go.
Yeah, much better. Thank God for you, Loey. Loey, it's almost like you... Are you a director, Loey?
Well, I'm basically directing.
You directed this really well.
Shit.
Yeah. Self-directed.
How do I get it? How do I get it to be on different... I want it to be on different cameras.
Mate, you are such a fucking boomer. This is amazing to watch. This is incredible.
How do I get it? Because it keeps switching between everybody. I don't want that.
You can change it to gallery view, top right. Oh, they're on the phone. I don't know.
That's not right.
My top right says leave.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want crotch shot, Greg, if I'm honest, mate. That's not
what's wrong with that. This better.
That makes you look much taller. I like everyone's gone with a low angle. Maybe I should go low angle too.
No, you get your chins in if you're low angle. You get sun out.
Yeah,
I'm just in the woods, boys.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, gallery. There we go. Now I can see everyone. Great.
Greg, you on your phone?
No, I'm on my laptop, mate.
Oh, why is everyone on laptops? Why have I not done that?
Professional.
Doing exciting stuff.
My laptop's for work, boys. Just think,
tax deduction. Yeah. Whoa! You can't do that, mate. Do not be flipping your head around like that. It looks just like the trailer out of Kingsman when you do that. No,
you guys can't do that, can you? See?
Yeah.
You guys can't do that.
Well, this is just a treat for everyone. Boys, I don't know how long we give it.
Yes, Paul, you fucked it up.
I've been calling Bob, but I can't get hold of him.
He's a fucking nightmare. He is a nightmare. I mean, he can't even tell me he is anywhere. He can only be at home. I don't know what he's pretending.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's definitely not working. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Like working on anything at his own because he can't do it. Useless.
Yeah.
But it's a serious question, though, Doug, whether you want to do this with just us or whether it'd be funnier more. Because only personally, I think it'd be funnier with Bobby.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what do you guys think? Wait for Bobby?
Well, we could do it with us, but I've just been like, there's no. It's going to be funny. What? But Damo's not funny. Greg's funny. I'm hilarious, but I can't hold this on my own. No, you know what I mean? Like, it just, because otherwise, you'd want to do one with Bobby anyway. I just think.
I'm looking at WhatsApp to see that Bobby Dazzler lost online at 2:29. I mean, what is that boy doing fucking at 2:29?
He's definitely not waking up. That is the fact.
And he's gone off.
My neck looks slender.
It looks massive. What's wrong with that neck?
I know.
So what do you boys think? Should we? I
like Deirdre Barlow.
Should we?
I've no problem doing a little one now. Why don't we do a little one while we're here, and then do a main one?
Can I nip for a wee first?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Unbelievable.
Demo, I now see the problems you must have had on set.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah? Fucking going for a wee whenever they want.
All it was wrangling people. That's all it was. Paul, I'm not a breakfast.
You didn't wrangle anything. What do you wrangle? You sat there. Everyone had wrangled it for you. You just said, "Oh yeah."
Okay, organising wrangling. That was the best thing. Yeah.
When did you organise wrangling?
It sounds like people. I need to do this too. Hold on. I mean, if you're asking, I am available for lighting. Just if you.
One thing's for sure, you can't play those guitars, Doug. That is a fact.
I think you'll find that I can't. Oh, here we go. Great. Where does the talent end? Where does the talent end?
Wait for this.
Oh, stay there.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get a drum. Definitely getting a drum.
Did not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting at all.
I can't play any musical instruments, but
I've got my school fight.
I hope you're filming this with Damo. I'll just film this with Damo.
So there you go. Greg, take them glasses off your dick.
The school fight glasses,
mate. How cool are you? Jesus.
He got his props out, so I'll get my props out.
All right. Oh, how do I make it switch between people? All right. Talk someone. Actually, Townley, you talk.
Damien, very backlit right now.
Yeah, Damien, Fucking hell, mate.
What he knew about lighting and stuff.
Damien, he's got the light behind him.
Maybe gallery view is going to be the best one, I think, for the podcast for people to be able to take in all what's going on instead of the different things going on.
I'm trying to choose my room because my kids are asleep. We got the nap time, haven't they?
Somewhere where there's a window in front of you. So I have the window, then
this guy,
then your phone, and then you, and then it'll light you up like me. Look, because there's a window right there.
My window's just there.
My window's just there. All of it. That is great lighting. That is great lighting, Damien.
So, do you see when we say that we done the most things on this film? We didn't have a clue. So you understand now?
No, it all makes sense, mate.
Built that staircase.
That's the floating stair. Are you brushing your teeth, Greg? Oh, right. Okay. But Lippy, mate, what do you think? There's only limits to how much people can actually see, right? Anyway, right, let's get into this, boys. Let's get into this, all right? Damien, hello.
Hello.
Just so you know, in order of things, Damien, you're right underneath me here, like in life. Greg, you're like diagonal to the left of me here. And then Lowy, you're here, right to my left. So you could high five me if we went on 1, 2, 3. That was awful.
I'm there.
Stuff. You're there. Yeah, you can give me a high five up corner. Yeah, nice. Tap. And then Damo on the head. Bam. Bad. Yeah, good.
Hang on, so is this going video? Or are we
yeah,
putting
it's going to go on YouTube too.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah. So the actual real advantage, Zoom, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be the first to say, but I think Zoom might be behind the coronavirus because the subscriptions must be going through the roof.
And that face party as well.
House party or face party?
House party, mate.
No.
Face party sounds like something a lot worse. Why are you putting a thumb up?
It's my joke because it looks like there's two of me, isn't it? So,
Damien, where you going? Damien! Sorry, I got confused which is which for a second there. That was your thumb. That's you know. Damien, are we just going to get a tour of your house as you continue to walk around?
Has this started?
This has started.
Yeah.
We are live. We are live, boys. We are live.
It started.
There is a totally cool way I could actually get this on Instagram at the same time. Actually, look, yeah, who cares? Right, let's get into this. Damien, thanks for joining me. Thanks very much down there. Greg Townley, eventually, this is how I get you back for the podcast, mate. All I got to do is make the world slightly end, and then we're good. Lower, you were at home anyway, so that wasn't hard. That was great. But it's nice that you can now be around while we're with these two gents too, joining us from. Where's everyone from today? Lowy?
Liverpool.
Mm-hmm. Can you say it more with a Scouse accent?
Liverpool.
not possible.
Not possible, mate. He said something on his live feed with with Bobby that I've never heard him sound so Scouse. I can't remember what.
I remember what was it. It's a line from the film, is it?
Jeez, it was mad, mate. I was like, oh my god, he's gone full Scouse.
She wants me to bum her head in.
Yeah, that's what I thought. She wants me to
Genuine line from the film as well.
That's a genuine line.
That's a classic line, one that we repeated for a long time, much in the same vein as take the blue or the red pill, or no one puts baby in the corner. Damien, those were penned by the very hand I see in the screen. Can you tell us?
That one wasn't. That one Paul made up on the day, so it's getting cut out of the movie, so don't worry.
I actually didn't make it up. I actually generally said it about someone and had bum her head in, and they were like, "What?"
Oh no! No. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Yeah, that's what happened, wasn't it? You were talking about an individual,
put it in the film,
and then you went, "I'd definitely bum her head in," and then we were like, "That needs to go in the movie." So technically, it was me that wrote it in. So,
well, Damien, this is interesting. The more I hear about School Fight, the movie, the more it sounds like you did less than I thought. Because now
that's because you're talking to the wrong people, isn't it?
Okay.
Like you're listening to Paul talks utter shit, constant. Bobby, what's the point in that? And this wonky jaw over here, don't even listen to him. He's got no chance. So
yeah, probably.
Okay. Right. All right. Can we get back to the creative element that was, other than Paul Lowe making up lines classic as "I'll bum her head in"? Tell me how you came up with the idea for School Fight. Let us all know.
Basically, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Geek. Yeah. but I love them, right? So yeah, I listened to those, and then I thought, got a few ideas for a movie. So I actually thought about asking somebody to write a script for me, and then I contacted somebody, and somebody was like, "Oh, why don't you just do it yourself?" So I thought, don't really know anything about English, to be fair, never mind writing. So, but I thought, I'll give it a go. And I gave it a go, and then that was it. Started handing the script out, and people started to like it, and that was it.
And that was it. That is how this came up. Now, you said to me before how everyone's got a version of this when they're growing up, right? And that's what makes it kind of appealing, is that everyone had that guy at school. Everyone had that experience at school. There was the bully, there was the cool kid, and there was the geeky kid. Now, that is a pretty apt description of the three main characters, one of which is not here. You guys can decide and fight amongst yourself who's the popular one, who's the geeky one.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, to be honest, that's basically, I mean, they always say, don't they, write about what you know, and basically all the guys are all based on friends of mine, and either things that have happened to all of us in the past, like, so basically anything that's kind of in there, it's always kind of either happened to Greg or to Paul or to Chris or to me or to somebody. So basically they're all just encounters of what's happened to us and stories we've all told each other and all that sort of thing. And basically it's just an amalgamation. Is that a word?
That's a great word. Fantastic word.
I mean,
well done.
You'll find plenty of words like that in school.
Context though, not in context.
It was fine. You did great, mate.
Thank you,
mate. You did great.
Thanks, mate.
So, Greg, how did you find yourself on board with Damien, or do you just have to do whatever Damien says? Because that's what people tell me.
Pretty much.
Correct.
Yeah, I came to his house and was just like, "Oh, I'm making a movie." I was like, "Great, wrote a script. Want you to play this character." And at that point, I was like, "Yeah, mate, no problem." And then, kind of when we started getting more involved in it, it just kind of became a little bit more daunting. But it was good. I just remember WhatsApping you, doing all that, the audio things, just telling you all the stuff that happened at my school. And then me and Damien was just like, "Oh, wait, that's happened at my school as well." So we just put all of those. Yeah,
you'll find that's what's quite funny about it, is like when you start talking about the stuff that happened to you at school, it kind of always ends up being the same stuff that's happened to everybody else. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone had the guy who either shit himself or pissed himself in the class, and no one ever let it go, no matter how old he got. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter how old he got.
Did I ever tell you about the extra on a film set that shit himself in costume during a take? I mean, that is
no.
That is a treat of a story. As you're well aware, costume designers have this weird perversion with putting stuntmen in costumes that they can't get out of easily and can never take a shit in. That's their thing. They're like, how can we make this? It's just a suit. They're like, yeah, but what if we close it up completely so that they can only get it undone by someone else? That's they
like
just
7 other people.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way. So this guy, there was tilapia, and Dan Houston remembers it well. We had just met, and this guy had tilapia. And even I was early stages of my career, and I thought, I don't know if fish in the sun is a great idea on location. To me, I just thought, this is high risk stuff. You know what? I'll just have the chicken. All right. This guy went with the tilapia, and
because that in the sun's much better.
Well, yeah. In hindsight, not the best option, but better than tilapia for sure. These outfits had I think 26 buttons. They went all the way around the breast, and of course, costume love giving you braces, right? So that once you put the overcoat on, you have to take the overcoat off to get the braces off to go to the toilet. And this guy, we're standing in the heat for ages. And this guy just looked not good. They said cut, and he started running. We were like, that's weird. And he was like trying to undo these buttons as he went. And we went for another take, and we then went to the loo afterwards, and he was just sat there kind of defeated with about 20 of the 26 buttons undone, just sitting there thinking, what the fuck am I going to do with costume when I have to tell them what I've just done? So there you go. There's my story about that. So you can use that.
Happened to Paul. That happened to Paul on set as well, actually. He shit himself 3 times.
I remember Kingsman that something.
I'm just putting the rumor out there now, because now it's online for everyone to find out.
Yeah, this will be a new thing, won't it?
Something like that happened. But,
Paul, how did you find yourself getting involved in this? Have you gone through your whole contact list by this point?
I'd pretty much exhausted everybody. Yeah, to be fair, I was like, oh, this guy, no. And to be fair, I pretty much auditioned everybody I knew, and then the only person left was Paul. And I was like, oh shit, well maybe I should just give him a go.
So you called him to ask him if he knew anyone. And he didn't know anyone.
It was awkward when he just kind of put himself forward for it, and I was like, oh, okay, mate, yeah, come on down, yeah, cool. Yeah.
He was looking for someone 4'8", handsome, really funny, and was an amazing actor and also an amazing stuntman.
So you got one of them right.
Written all over it. What?
You got one of them right. Your height.
Hello, look what I've got here. One sec.
Greg, from now on, I want you to have your props ready if you're going to crack a joke.
Yes.
Paul's
chair. That's my
Paul's chair.
That was my chair on set. And believe it or not, it's actually really comfortable. I know it's little, but I'm little, but it was a really.
I'm going to use it right now. I think it's going to be a good.
You didn't take that to Dubai, did you?
No, I asked for it to be in Dubai, but whatever I asked.
Mate, you were lucky to get breakfast, I heard, in Dubai.
Oh, jeez.
We didn't get breakfast.
We hear about it?
No. Did we get breakfast? No.
You did in Dubai?
Yeah.
We didn't. We're giving ham sandwiches.
In Dubai?
Ham
sandwich in Dubai. When did you have a ham sandwich in Dubai?
With the plastic bags. No, in Dubai, we had plastic bags and it'd just be like ham salad, chicken salad, and they were for breakfast, dinner, tea. Is that right?
I'm gonna have to stick with Damien here. It's very unlikely that you'll get ham sandwiches in Dubai for a few reasons.
Greg, did you ever have a ham sandwich in Dubai?
Never, not one ham sandwich.
Okay, well, it was like
I think you were on about a different film, mate.
No,
obviously not as good.
No, it was. Just trying to. I wish Bobby was here because he'd be on my side.
And this is amazing because you got no one to gang up with.
You know, if your little boyfriend
he's all alone now, isn't he?
Yeah.
On his own.
All right, so Louis, obviously, you're no stranger to acting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've done a fair bit. You started on theatre, if I recall correctly, from our chat. Is that correct? Yeah. You did a bit of acting there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and why you were the obvious choice to be in Damien's movie as the star?
Well, I met Damien like ages ago, and I'd obviously seen all the stuff online that he used to do, and then I work with him, and he was just like, I don't want to big him up because he is an idiot, but he was funny. And he's my kind of humour. So we got on dead well, and even when I was working with him, I was like, listen, I can't do what you and all your mates do, but I loved your videos online. And he's like, well, just when we do one, just come down again and just be a part of it. I was like, no, I'd like to come and be a part of it, but I'm not going to be jumping off stuff because I can't do all the high falls and all the crazy stuff. And you're like, yeah. So then that didn't happen because obviously between that period and then doing a film, but he phoned me up and he said, I've got this idea for a film. And I was like, listen, because I just thought if I get to be with all them and be around it all, that's cool for me. And he said, I've just read the script and then there's a part in it I'd like you to play. So I read it. It was a nice part. But in my head, I was just like, I just thought it's just going to be cool just to be around these guys in Derby making something because I'd seen all the stuff they made before. So I didn't really know I knew what it was going to be like from the script, but I didn't know like how big it would be or the Dubai part of it. But then obviously just with calls with Damo and explaining what he wants to do, and then we'd go to Derby and read through the script and do stuff. Then it just became like a bigger thing. But for me, I just wanted to try and do stuff with these guys because I'd seen the stuff online and I thought they're rubbish and I'm really good. So if I can be in there,
you know what? You were close to me nearly giving you a compliment thing. Paul. You were close. Now you know what? Show it your arse.
So Paul, you're saying very much, and I've seen this about you. You're very charitable like that. So you wanted to give your services to someone.
I just thought whatever this project's going to be, it's not going to go anywhere without me. I want to help Damo out and Greg. I thought I'm going to help these guys just make this film as best it can be, and then I'll direct most of it myself. And that's what I've done.
And in exchange, you just wanted a few like ham sandwiches in Dubai.
Just breakfast.
It sounds like a useful argument.
I just wanted breakfast and respect, and I didn't get none.
You got a chair though, mate.
You got a chair?
I didn't get a chair. You got a chair.
Well, technically, you kept it yours.
Yeah, no. It's my chair.
Nice.
That's a good point. Why do you have Paul's chair?
Yeah, you thief.
I've had this since I was little. It's from my mum's house.
Yeah.
So Loie and Greg, you can take turns. Maybe Greg first. What scale did you think this movie was going to be? Like, did you think this might look like a home movie? Were you like, is this going to be like YouTube quality, or were you aware of what Damien's vision was?
About the YouTube quality. To be honest, for me, it was just another thing that we've done. Like, it was just another thing that is to be a part of what Damien's done and what we've done together. So I didn't really have like expectations from it. It was just something to do in a weird way. But yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know.
And what about you, Paul? So you just wanted to hang out with people. You wanted to just kind of be part of the gang, right?
Yeah, I want to part of the gang, but also we've all been in this industry a long time and made films. And and you hear things all the time of people getting lucky where they make something and it becomes something really big. And with obviously Damo, who's done a lot and directed a lot, it was a passion project for him. And in my head, I was like, even if it doesn't go anywhere or do anything big, I'll get to make something and be a part of something that I'm going to enjoy doing. And in that process, I'll learn. But there's also that opportunity for it to be, you know what I mean? Like, I'm an actor. I've always wanted to act. No matter if this never does anything or doesn't get big, which I think it will.
I think it'll do great, Damien.
But what I'm saying is, but even though just whatever happens, I can always say I've been like a lead part in a film. Doesn't matter the size of the film.
That's always the goal in anything we do, really. Like, we've always done that, like, for years and years now. Everything that I know I've ever made and we've made with the boys and stuff, it's always been a kind of, we have an idea, let's just go for it. Let's just see what happens. And if nothing happens, then, well, at least we gave it a shot. So it's always better just to go for it and then just see what happens, really. I mean, it's like, we were saying, like, after maybe the UK side, and we still knew we had to go to Dubai and we still had to go to things like that, we all sat in my living room after shooting. It was like halfway, I think it was like maybe 2 days from the end. I think 2 days from the end, and we all sat in my living room, like all the cast and stuff like that. We all watched the scenes in order, because I'd already edited them, most of them together. We watched them in a thing, and we were all just laughing our heads off, like, literally about the stuff we've done and the fun we'd had, and like remembering all the stuff and like literally going through it all. And we all thought, it was that point that I said to the guys, like, you know what, if nothing else ever happened with this movie, even if it was in like 5 years' time that we all got into my living room again and watched it again, just to go, look, we created, how much fun we had and all that sort of stuff, it'd be worth it. Do you know what I mean? Because they're like, if something happens and it gets sold and all that sort of thing, then amazing. But if it doesn't, it was never going to be a waste of time, because of the amount of fun we had and the amount of laughs that we had on set, and just like spending time with your mates. What better way to spend your time than with your mates, and then filming it, and trying to do something that you like.
I think a lot of the reason we got into this industry, certainly for me, was exactly for that. The allure for me was the fact that I could hang out with my mates on set and, every now and then do something quite cool. I was like, this is brilliant. And they're going to pay me. This is brilliant. I'm in for this. Do you think the lack of pressure you had then going into this as a director, as someone who just wanted to make something, do you think that is what changed then the feeling on set? So from speaking to all of you guys, it sounds like it's a very different filming process to the films we're used to.
For me personally, there was no real pressure. It was, from like the very first take. I mean, I had a rough idea of what I wanted to do, but, I'd directed second unit before and things like that. I'd never really done much drama stuff, but I knew how I wanted it to look. And then I just sort of pitched the idea of what I wanted to the guys, and then we'd together just come up with, what would be the best way to get that. And then obviously I'd talk to the DP and figure out how we're going to capture it, and then we just try to capture it as best we can. But it was more of an open process. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay, what makes you guys feel comfortable? Would you stand here? And, and I said to them from the start, I was like, if there's a line that doesn't feel like it flows right, then we can you can reword it to however we want, and we come up with the best way to make it feel as natural as possible. And that was the process in every scene, really. I think we did quite a lot of block-ins, which helped me personally, and I think it helped the guys as well. From what I was seeing is like, once we got in there, we'd spend the first hour, maybe hour and a half, just blocking. So basically just blocking where everybody would go, and just literally going through that over and over again until everyone was comfortable with the situation and what, where we're going to be. And you could see people, I could personally see them all throughout that blocking process, and more as the scenes go on, you could see everybody falling into their roles. You know what I mean? Like in the group, not just in the actual situation of the movie. You feel like Greg getting more and more confident in it, and Paul getting more and more sarcastic and trying to belittle him down. And then the rivalry between him and Tyler, like, start kicking off more, and you could see that progressing all the way through the blockings and the shooting. And to be fair, like I say, by the second weekend, the boys are flying, like absolutely flying. Like the first weekend was great, don't get me wrong, but by the second weekend, they really sort of dropped into gear and started going. It was really good.
Now, Greg, as they mentioned there, Damien was just saying that he, this was something he had done second year directing. He never directed something or taken on a mammoth task like this. Had you done any acting before this point? And if not, were you concerned at all? Were you a little bit anxious or nervous?
Nothing on this scale. Nothing with the amount of lines that there is. Like, I did a little role in number 4 when I was younger, and then just like stunt acting at previews and things like that. But nothing. Oh, and on the World's End, I had like one line. That was it. But
remind everyone what that classic line was.
Please don't. You don't want to do that. Said like a robot.
Okay, that's 2 lines. So well done.
And on the day, I managed to bodge them up. I managed to mess them up on the day. I said them the wrong way around. So, yep. That's good. But no, I've never done anything on this sort of scale. And I was nervous. But like Paul, having Paul there and Tyler, the other one of the other characters who plays Freddie, just having them there to lean on and like ask questions. And the more we blocked it and the more we went through everything, you get more comfortable. When you're around your friends as well. This is the best thing and the worst thing about this movie.
Yeah.
Is being around your mates who take the piss out of you constantly, for you to be like out of your comfort zone and trying to do all these things. But it was the best thing as well, because everyone wants this project to be as good as it can. And on the day, you just want your performance to be the best it can be. And with these people around us and the team we had and the 4 boys we had, as the main characters, like me, Paul, Tyler, and Pasha, like we gelled really well, and it just made me relax more and just be able to perform instead of thinking about like, oh, what's next, or what, like when do I come in, or what's my cues, or things like all things that are new to me, and I just loved a new challenge. It was great. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's funny what you say about the friends being the best and worst thing. I think the advantage of people taking the piss, I mean, I've had my first movie with Dave Grant and Ben Wright. So I had a rude awakening to the fact that I just thought it was going to be like a normal workplace, where people just do their job and stuff, and everyone, no, terrible idea. But, I knew at one point this wasn't a normal job when they gave me the outfit they had built on me, because I was kind of the right dimensions for the bad guy. And they gave me this mask, and they were like, oh, and we're here for a show and tell with the directors and producers. And Ben Wright was like, what show and tell? And I thought we were just showing and telling them what the outfit is and the design. And they were like, no, you got an email this morning about movement, what we would like to see from these guys. So I'm in this full outfit, like, thank God, with the mask on, and I can just see through it. And Ben says, look, mate, here's the email. And he shows it to me, and it says, for this character, we were thinking monkey, but not monkey. 3, 2, 1, action. And I'm like, what? Now I have to act like a monkey. Not quite. I mean, if you guys want to see it, I'll show it to you. I will show it to you.
100%.
I got that same email off Damo for this.
That was just about shaving your arms.
Yeah.
So I had the weapon like this. They say action. So I think monkeys have that like weird posterior chain, so they kind of walk like this, right? So I'm doing this, walking. Dave Grant, Ben Ryder over here, walking. I kind of do this little monkey. Look this way. I look back this way. And Dave Grant, I swear to you, is on the ground, laughing
Always helpful, isn't he, Dave? So.
And then he came to his senses and he whipped out his phone and he was like, he's got to record this.
Yeah.
He has to record
Typical
this.
Dave Grant.
Classic Dave, the amount of footage that man has, he's got more feature films in his phone than Netflix. It's incredible. But my point being, what you find is the advantage of that is that's the worst it's going to be, right? The worst is going to be when you're acting.
No, you know what I actually found? I found that we didn't take the piss out of each other as much as I expected. Nowhere near.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like nowhere near. Like it was, especially when we were actually shooting. Like as in when we were shooting, there was no piss taking, as in.
Yeah,
like,
you'd have a laugh together.
You'd have a laugh together. That was shit. You what? Sorry.
We'd have a laugh together. We'd just be having a laugh on situations.
Yeah, for sure. Like everyone would be laughing together, and if you messed up and all that sort of stuff, everyone would laugh, and there'd be loads of outtakes and all that sort of thing. It'd be very, very funny, but there was never any, which I expected. Like, mate, that was proper shit. I mean, like, there's none of that, which I expected, but none of it. And it was a very funny atmosphere, very funny. But like I say, nowhere near as much thing because like everyone was genuinely really good, like really good. It wasn't like. And I think that was the other thing as well. Like, no one was trying to be something they're not. Do you know what I mean? Like, the characters aren't written to be, like this character where you're trying to be something you're definitely not trying to be. All the characters are based around the person, and everyone got to bring their own personality into that character. So it didn't feel like somebody was doing, because I mean, as a stunt guy, you generally play the tough guy, don't you? You kind of walk in. And you try and play the tough guy, and you've got to do this thing. And even if you have a line, it's mainly just a bullshit line that you'd never really say. So that's why we tried to. The way I wrote it in the first place was trying to be as if I was having conversations in my head with my friends. You know what I mean? So like when I was writing it down, it was always to have conversations. If I'd say this, then so and so would say that back to me. Then another person, the other guy, would definitely chip in and go. And say something sarcastic at that point. So that kind of tried to write it as a conversation like that. So when it came to giving it the guys, he was like, look, that's how it feels in my head. If there's like wording in there that you need to change or that you want to change, then you change it to make it sound, but it's as long as it's all in the same concept. You know what I mean? Like it's all around the same principle. But the actual wording could slightly change, which
the idea is you're trying to give across you're trying to make it sound as natural as possible by letting them.
For sure, definitely.
I mean, I don't know if you know about the process in something like Parks and Recreation, and also Curb Your Enthusiasm, where they have a script, but they don't have words. So the script may say, Damien finds out that Greg has stolen his chair. And that's the script. And then they go in and they just film whatever comes up. So those two actors internalize what may happen in that scenario, considering the context. And so it's all kind of fresh and ad-libbed, but they know which direction they're going to, but they don't necessarily have to have the words.
Yeah, I mean, like it wasn't as vague as that. Definitely not. It was, it was very much like I said, everyone stuck to the script, but it was more like, as in, like what was your thing, Paul? The first thing you said to me was like, it was one of the words. It was just for us. You know what I mean? Rather than for me, you were like, can I say for us? I mean, like, is to do it for us, like that. And I was like, well, yeah, that's how you would say it. And then you say it, you say it like that. It's just getting people to feel comfortable in the lines rather than saying something that you think I'd never say that. Do you know what I mean?
Also for me, because Damo had written this, so language in Liverpool, and I guess the rhythm of it is very different. Is very different than Derby. So some stuff he had written, and I wouldn't even understand it because it was a Derby thing. You know what I mean? Like just little way. So I'd speak to Damo quite often about the script and stuff. We're just like, oh, this or that, what's that mean? And then sometimes you go, okay, well, actually, if you don't understand it, then maybe we'll just change the line to be this. So it is a bit more like universal. Like there was, I forget what it was. There was one line I didn't. And I was
there was one line you were like, what's that even mean? And I was like,
what's a quince?
Oh, a cooey.
But no, a quince. Not cooey.
Oh, Quincy.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm saying. So it was like, but the nice thing is that it was always, everything was always open for conversation. It doesn't matter what it was. You could always ask a question or like, can we change this or what's this mean? Like, and you would all, the nice thing was you could bring your ideas to the table and we just try it. We just film it, and if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. And more often than not, someone will come up with an idea, you try it, and it'd be fucking funny. And that's the magic of it. And it's nice then, because I think I'm funny at certain things. Damon's funny at certain things. Greg is, Bobby. But you're not. You didn't even. Look, but what I'm saying is, so if everyone can come up with something which is a bit funny and we can try them, then you just got all these nice ideas then. It's my film, it's this idea, but it wasn't like that. It was more of a collective.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, there's no point in me pretending. Obviously, it's my first time I'd ever written something. It's my first time directing it, so it's like there's no point in me pretending that I know all the answers, right? Because whenever you do that, well, one, you look like an absolute dick for a start, and two, you're always you're bound to fail, because it can only be ever as good as I anticipate it to be. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you open it up, it can be as good as everybody's imagination can be. Do you know what I mean? So like, somebody can add something onto that scene, and the scenes just got funnier and funnier the more people just chipped in. And it was like, when we were doing stuff, there's the amount of times we just start laughing, like in the library scene when we were just like doing that, and like, okay, well then you push him over the desk, and then like you pause, and then we were just laughing our heads off, like just blocking it through, because it looked like obviously Paul and Greg are having sex on the table, but they're actually arguing with Tyler, when they all kind of freeze and kind of see that they're in this awkward position. But just working it out and blocking it through was just, it was hilarious. Do you know what I mean? Like, and everyone was just chipping in and going, oh, maybe we do this and maybe we do this, and like, it was a very, very funny time for sure. And that's the thing, like, we tried to make it so that there was no pressure. Do you know what I mean? Even when we went to Dubai, like, in fact, there's like certain days in the UK where we know we haven't got the big lights, and we know we haven't got all the massive production value to do the sky replacements and all that sort of stuff, and we know we can't do that, so we had to wait for natural light. And obviously a few of the guys had come from London, and they'd obviously never worked with us and stuff like that before. Like, a couple of them had never worked with us, and they were like, oh, we really should start shooting. And I'm like, well, the light's not good. We just have to wait for the light. They're like, oh, I don't know if we're going to get it in time. I said, but if we don't, we don't. It's 20 minutes from my house. If we don't, we just come back. And we just sit there. Like, remember on Black Rock, we got there at, what time was it? I think we got there at 7:30. Yeah. And we didn't start shooting until 3:30. Like, basically, that
happened all the time. Get there, all day. No breakfast, just sit there.
Well, how good does it look though, Paul? Hey, Jesus,
we're all starving.
It rained a little bit too.
But no, so we do that all the time. Like, and that progression, like, the guys are like, you can see these, like, the DP from London, Nathan, really good guy. Like, obviously it was his first time working with us. And he was like, look, if you tell me you're not worried, then I'm not worried. I'm not worried. So there's no point. We just sit and we wait. And then it would be like 3:30, and obviously it gets dark at 7:30, so 4 hours to shoot, the entire scene. But the guys had blocked it through, and that's what I'm saying. We spent so much time blocking it that when it came to shooting it, it was so easy. I mean, the guys were all into, proper into the roles by that point, and that kind of progressed all the way through into Dubai as well. So like, there's times in Dubai that we had. I mean, the ending battle it's at the minute it's sitting at 13 minutes of pure action at the minute. I need to knock that down to 9 minutes maximum, right? But it's constant action. Do you know what I mean? Like, constantly. But it was mayhem. Like, as in, we had no time to shoot any of it. Like, it's mental. Like, we shot the entire thing in 4 days. And if you think of like a 15-minute, 10 to 15-minute action scene in a full budget, a big budget movie, you're talking 2-3 weeks, of shooting, easy. And we did it all in 4 days. We had motorbikes, we had tanks, we had, motion control, we had guys parachuting in, we had helicopters flying over, but it's mental action, like crazy action, and we shot it all in 4 days. But it was mayhem, but there was never any pressure. It was kind of like, and obviously we had to do it all in natural light. It's like, for instance, Paul's ending, like, I mean, I know you've seen that little shot as well when he's, at the end of the thing when Paul's doing his acting thing. It's a very emotional thing. But we had no time to shoot it. We had to shoot it when the sun goes down to make it look nice. But the problem is, the sun goes down and it's in Dubai, it like starts to go, then it's gone. Do you know what I mean? So you have half an hour window. So if you want to shoot that, we literally, and bearing in mind that's one segment of, I think on that ending battle, there's 16 segments to it. So that's one segment we had to shoot. So we knew once it started to go there, it was literally, okay, sun's going down, we shot this, bam, and we had to just literally sprint over. And it's a testament to how good these guys are. You know, like we sprint over, pause on it, boom, straight away, 2 takes, done. And it looks fucking phenomenal. It's like, for instance, Greg and Liang's fight for the open scene. Again, same thing. You know, these guys, we'd spent, this was day 8, I think, day 8 of shooting. Bearing in mind, everyone's knackered. So they've had no time, not just rehearse the fight, they haven't even made it up. Right? So we're shooting the entire car chase. Yeah, they're shooting the entire car chase the day 5, 6, and 7. Right? And then day 8, we come and we run over on the car chase. So we're still shooting the car chase morning of the day 8. And then I was like, guys, while we're shooting this, do you want to make up the fight? So they started making the fight up on the morning of day 8. They hadn't rehearsed it, not once. And then they were rehearsing as we shot it. So basically, they rehearsed and shot at the same time. So I was like, I'll just shoot the rehearsal, guys. And then you just keep going. We'll just keep going until you're happy with that segment. You know, and we shot that entire fight in 3 hours. Like, that's to do with the car rolling over, the car smashing, Liang getting out of the car, the drama between those guys, the dialogue, all the fight, and the ending sequence where he gets right. We shot it all in 3 hours. And it's impossible to do without people with that talent. You know what I mean? It's actually impossible. You know, like, testament to these guys that they made a fight up and rehearsed it and shot it all in 3 hours. It's mental. And that's like I say, it was like that the entire way through, you know, with so much, you know, so much to do in so little time, but I didn't want people to feel that pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want people to feel that, because in my head, everyone's kind of flown themselves out to Dubai, you know, to have fun and have a holiday, you know, and see people going, oh, we need to get this. I was like, guys, we don't need to get anything, right? Okay, everyone just calm down. We don't need to get anything. If we get it, amazing. If we don't get it, we don't get it, right? I don't want people coming out here and everyone falling out for no reason just because, you know, we're making a movie. You know, it's not worth that. And then hopefully that relaxed attitude kind of made everyone relax a little bit, and we got everything. Well, you know, there's always things that we could have got more, but you know, it's we got some pretty impressive stuff. Let's be honest.
Sounds like, yeah, I've seen it. It does look very impressive. Greg, if I just go to you for a second, so how did you find? I mean, obviously the acting was something new. The performing is something you've been doing for the longest time. I mean, you started really early, but what was it like, and how was it different to being on a feature film? I mean, in my head, I'm thinking already on a feature film, you always feel like you're limited into what you can do. You'll always come up with the previs that people are like, that's amazing. And then you come to shooting, they'll be like, we just want one punch. So how did you find the process of coming up with the fights, especially working with other guys like Liang?
Yeah, you just got free reign to do what you want. Like Damien said before, it was like, if anyone thinks of any cool things, like anything, cool stunts they want to do in a movie, that now's the time, let's do it in this. This is going to be, you've got free reign to do what you want, because it's all, you know, made up in his imagination. So yeah, Dubai was tough, like physically for me and mentally.
Greg smashed Dubai.
I was running on views, and then that day when me and Liang did that fight, I could see the sun going down. I'm thinking, I'm not getting things right because we're like rehearsing on the day. It makes me feel shit. I was like, I feel like my performance is bad. Damien's telling me, no, it's all good. You're good. You're fine. It looks great. I'm like, what? I was like, I'm getting stressed out because I can see the sun disappearing over that hill. And he's going, we're fine, just chill out. And I was like, if you tell me we're fine. And that was it. And I just had to trust him. And then, but yeah, I was fully running on fumes. I was like, yeah, you just need to tell me where I need to be and what I wanted to do now. I need to stop.
And how good is that pilot, by the way?
Stop thinking to myself. I loved it. I thought I actually did really like that one.
That's such
Even though on the day it felt, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. If I look at it, I'm thinking, I don't like that. Then I want to do it again and again and again. But at that point, I was just like, if you say it's good, it's good. Like I can't think for myself right now because I was just running on fumes. But yeah, no, it was good. You just got free reign to do what you wanted.
Yeah, it's
incredible stuff.
I keep hearing Ellie Wooden say to Damien wherever he sees him, he says, instead of calling it school fight, he just says, when am I getting my show reel for 2020?
Yeah.
Oh man, he did some stuff. Yeah.
Ali stunt doubled me as well.
Is that right?
Yeah, for the old car turnover.
But that is such a gift, right? Because we spend our careers wanting to build a decent showreel, and unless you've been in a lot of features, unless you've been a bit lucky on what's in the final edit, you don't, in like a 10-year career, you might have a 1-minute segment of decent footage of all the work you've done, of actual stunts, which is mad. So to get the opportunity then for someone to go, if you've got an idea, get it in there and we're going to film it, and we've got all the cool equipment here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, how many times have we been on movies and just gone, "Oh, it'd be amazing if we could do this," and then when you shoot it, then you go, "Well, it's not really." It kind of gets changed, and like that everyone has to stick their 2 pennies in just to sort of go, "Well, I had a say in that," I had a say, and then before you know it, that idea is not really the same idea anymore. Once you shot it, and then once they've edited it, it's like a fragment. It's a tiny fraction of what it was, and then by the time it's made it in the movie, you're like, "Well, it's not even there anymore." Do you know what I mean? Like, the thing you did is just, but that's what I didn't want to do. I wanted to sort of go, guys, if we got something, let's think of it and let's put it in, because like that's why I wrote it as his imagination, because we could do whatever we want. I mean, it didn't have to. It had to make sense to a certain extent, but it's all in his imagination, so we could, be as creative as possible.
Yeah, I actually think the more over the top it becomes in context of his imagination, then becomes the joke. That's the gag, is that it's supposed to be over the top. And Loey, you're the voice of reason very much, right? The guy that's going, no, hang on.
Well, the funny thing is, in Dubai, everyone goes there, and so everyone has their own section of like fighting or heroic. I just spent the whole of Dubai just running, just scared, and like I don't want to fight. So all these amazing stuntmen who are around me doing all like flips, and then I'm just running through my trumpet going, ah! So it was nice and easy for me. But I've just got to say, like I said before, I'm a stuntman, but in Dubai, Greg was a stuntman, was an actor, he done everything, and he was going from one shot, getting smashed up doing something, and he'd go, yeah, and he'd run through the shot, and then he'd be like going over, hitting his face, his nose would be bleeding, he'd wipe it off. Like the work ethic of that kid, from stunt wise and acting wise in Dubai, and then how he kept on a level, just being nice and polite, everything else was exceptional. And
very good.
What I want to say is, I think the reason why this film will be special is people like obviously Greg and everyone else, but on a normal film, people get called up. Do you want to work on this film yesterday? You're getting paid, blah, blah, blah. You're working for someone you don't know. Everyone on this film wanted to be a part of this film, from the DOP to sound guys, to actors, to stuntmen. Everyone wanted to be there. No one was coming in going, I can't be arsed doing this. So when everyone turns up and wants to be a part of the film, everyone puts in the best work. So when we went to Dubai and you have all these top stuntmen who come over, one Damo was like, yeah, but they all wanted to go and do good stuff for Damo, but then because of that, they were like, well, I want to try and do this. And then they'd all probably give another 10% because it's like, what I'm doing for me, and I want to do something really cool. So that's what you've got in this film, from every level, from the assistants, from sound guys, from the actors, everyone just wanted to make a good film and put loads of effort in. There's no one there who was like, I'm just doing this as a favour, I can't be asked, I'd rather be someone else.
No, it's exactly right, to be fair, because like I was saying this, like by the 5th day, like bearing in mind, we've been setting off at 4:30, so everyone's been getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning. And I'm saying to people, like, when does this ever happen? Like, when do you ever just get up at 4 a.m. and not bitch and moan all day? I mean, like, we've all done it. We've all been on set all day, just sat around all day on set thinking, fuck, I've been here since 4 a.m. Right. But, mate, nobody moaned, everyone was in there, everyone was working their arse off from 4:30 as we set up in the morning till it got dark. And, like, you could not ask for anything more than that. Like, it was very humbling to see, like, how people just literally just kept going and going and going and going and going. And it was very humbling for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, to go, not only did people turn up, but like Paul said, they put in 110%. They just kept going and going and going and going. And so, like, especially like with Greg, there's like the one shot when Greg and Bobby's having their fight, and obviously again running out of time. And like I say, I was just like, okay, I'm going to do this in. We're going to take it up to this point in the fight. So the point was where Greg was about to start getting beat by Bobby. And then as I was doing it, I was shooting with the camera. As I walked up to him with the camera, and I was like, keep going. And then not even about an eyelid, Bobby, boom, carries on punching Greg, and Greg reacts like without batting an eye. And I was like, keep going, keep beating him, keep beating him. So I'm just talking through it as I'm still rolling the camera. I'm like, okay, keep going, get onto your knees. And I could hear them to go, and Greg going to him, right cross, bam, okay, now kick me in the ribs. And then Robbie's like, I'm going to give you a knee, and I carry on talking through that, and I'm pushing in, and we did it, and it was like maybe a 1:45 take, 1:45 take of them just smashing each other, just getting beat.
We were smashing it.
Yeah.
Like, what am I saying? Smashing each other. I'm there fucking dripping like that.
It's in the movie as well. So here's another point for you. So Bobby accidentally on purpose punches Greg in the nose.
It was my face hitting the floor, or he might have clipped me like this, but my nose bleeds really easy anyway. But
either way, Greg gets a nosebleed, and I'm like, keep going.
You're thinking, this is brilliant. I don't have hair and makeup on this. This is brilliant. This is what I need.
Yeah, so we don't have hair and makeup. So I'm like, guys, you just saved me a bit of money. Keep going.
I'm doing this. I'm doing bad head reactions as blood's going.
Yeah, so it's in the movie where like I push in, and as we push in, we see Greg just on the floor like all beat like that, and there's real blood coming out of his nose where it's been smashed up.
Look, mint.
It's good.
Yeah, it does. That whole scene, and I think you're right for waiting for the light. It does make such a difference, that lighting in there, and that scene is so epic. Getting onto logistics for you, Paul, and for you, Greg, one at a time. I'm amazed this came together, because it's not like the guys you used, Damien, were out of work stuntmen that wanted to just get on screen any way they could. You got the best of the register and off the register to manage to find time to come film this. Now I want to know from you, Paul and Greg, did you guys have the time, or did you make the time? And was it just by luck that you could fit these things in?
Well, we shot a lot over weekends. All the stuff in England, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or one Saturday here, and it was 4 minutes from my house, or 20 minutes from me anyway. Like it's so close. We shot it in Belper and Derbyshire. So, but yeah, and then when I was working on a job, and the video before I went on it was to, these are the requirements they have. So there's some decisions I had to make time for it. But yeah, it was, it is what it is. So yeah, I made time as well.
And you, Paul?
Yeah, I think the same as any job. Like I didn't when I came to do this, I didn't look at this job and like, well, this is just a little tiny thing I'm doing. It became a priority for me. So I turned bits of work down. But the same way, if I was doing something else, I'd turn work down. Like I turned work down because I was on a film. So if I called you now, Doug, and you're on a film, you can't accept it. So that was just the same for me. It didn't matter that it's a low budget film that my mate's doing. I was still on a job. So I made time for it, but because I believe and I've got full faith in Damien and the team that like this will be a good experience. Like I've been on lots and lots of films, and I've get paid lots of money and whatever else. This is a chance to do something that I'm gonna have like a good say in, and I've got like a nice part in, and I can enjoy the experience, and I can be creative with it and everything else. And I think you can pay me as much money as you want. Like the experience that I've probably just had, I might never have again. So in answer to your question, I made time for it, and it was important that I made time for it, and also important that I made the film a priority like I would for any film I was on.
I think the interesting thing to say, though, is I know for a fact that Damien, despite you guys making that commitment, Damien made it very clear that if work came up and there was a paid job, he was very clear that, you could take that, which is interesting that in a weird way that we've worked with coordinators that say, how dare you ever cancel on me, don't ever do that. And then on the flip side, you got someone saying, guys, this is my little project, so don't worry about it. And the level of loyalty is going up and not down. It kind of flies in the face of what you would expect. You're not getting paid.
Yeah, everyone cares so much about the project. Everyone's there because they want to be there. Like, we're not there for a paycheck. We're not there for the money. We're there because...
Not for the breakfast.
This is our baby, this is what...
Definitely not for breakfast. Fuck
meal deals.
Let it go, Paul. Let it go.
Yeah, we're there because we want to be there. And we all care so much about it. Like, we all go above and beyond to do these things. Like Paul, the things he did for his character, like making his own costumes and like just going. Yeah, tell me about that, Paul.
I did not know about this. Paul, you made your costume.
Just add like another level to his costume.
No, because
that's what.
I've always liked costume anyway, but when it came to like the school uniform, Damien had his idea what he wanted the school uniform, blazer and everything else, and we spoke about it. At first, he wanted like shorts, and I was like, I'm not really into the whole idea of wearing
short. Show me his legs for a start.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you've ever seen the amount of hair on those legs, there's no way.
So then I was like, okay, so we've done that, but I wanted to do things in my character. So basically, I wore a watch that I wore when I was in school, because I just thought it'd be quite cool, even if it's just for me. But it's like quite a geeky watch, and my character's quite geeky. I had a prefect badge inside my blazer, so I could go whoom, and that's what I used to do in school myself. I was a prefect, so just little things. And then down the line, we had like there's a scene we have like a battle scene. And we all have to wear. Damo basically said, we're just going to, we watch one costumes where you've all got these bits made up. So I just tried to, which is quite clever and lucky really, I just put all this stuff together and bought it on eBay, but made like this funny looking costume. And then the lucky thing about it is that we had scenes to film after that, which came before it, if you know what I mean. So these little bits of costume, for instance, on the back, my backpack was like a coffee tray. So in one scene, we put the coffee tray in. The front is like you write on like a little
like a whiteboard,
clipboard,
like a clipboard. So in one of the scenes, I've got a clipboard in front of me drawing, like all little, just so I can. So it looks as if like what's in that film, in that scene, I've seen that in that film. So it's all put together. So it's just like a nice little thing in my head for me, just to make it a little bit more like, you know.
And that's the other thing as well. We didn't have any hair and makeup or costume or anything like that, so it was down to everyone to sort of to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you look at my Amazon and eBay account, there's literally hockey sticks, like javelins, hammers, big thingy mallets. Oh yeah. There's a different one as well. I can't really go into detail, but yeah, there's a couple of things on there that. But basically.
Did Bobby teach that?
Because imagine that though, because not only have we got, you know, Paul, Greg, Tyler, Pasha, Bobby, all these guys coming in, you know, and having all this stuff, but then we've got the amount of extras we had. Like on the in one of the schools, we had 79 extras on one day for the opening scene of the school. Like they just turned up from the people from the gym. Like, you know, how thankful I was for that. Like all the people from the gym and people that friends of friends and all that sort of stuff, and kids are like, oh, can we come and be in it and all that sort of stuff, and like, you know, they all brought their stuff, and like, you know, obviously having to find school ties for them and blazers for them and all that sort of stuff, and you know, they're obviously bringing their own white shirts and stuff, but he's trying to kit everybody out with all this stuff. It was a hell of a job.
I bet it was.
I could do the directing bit again, but the actual producing side and the production thing,
yeah,
I could definitely happily never do that again.
Yeah, I imagine. Like you said, a lot of wrangling, right? A lot of wrangling of different things, pulling different departments. I find it interesting, though, I think we discussed this before, how on a feature film that we work on, you have all these departments that should all be working towards the same goal, which is we want to make a great movie. But no, if you've ever been through hair and makeup and costume and the stunt department and then lighting and locations as well as film set deck, you realize everyone's not looking out for each other. They're very much looking out for their department. They're like, yeah, it would be nice for you to use the toilet when you want, but we don't like the look of that. So that's out. Yeah. You know? Those stairs, we could make them rubber, but if they metal, we don't have to clean them. So those are staying in, you know? Yeah, exactly. Whereas this sounds like a far more collaborative event, which is incredible to hear.
We keep laughing, saying like the credits are going to be amazing. It's just going to be like,
it's literally, that is a true thing. So that's what we're going to do as well. In the credits, we're actually going to go, like, obviously acting. It'd be all the guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then it'd be hair and makeup. All the guys again. Then costume. All the guys again.
No one.
Yeah. Stunts. Catering. Fuck you. Oh, let it go. Jesus.
Yeah, continuity. Not me.
Fucking unbelievable. We get like 3 shots in. Bearing in mind, we've been waiting for 4 hours for the sun to come out, Doug. 4 hours, right? Sat on this wall, 4 hours. we get 3 shots in. Paul goes, just found my glasses in my pocket, Anna. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I hadn't just put them there. So basically they've been there the entire time. I was like, great. So we had to reshoot them all. So.
But what's really good is that he can't shout at me because I'm like, fuck off. Like, I'm here because I want to be here. What are you saying? Kill me. Don't be shouting when I walk off. So it's like, okay. It's like there's no continuity. There's no one there to say. So it was just one of them where I had sunglasses on and then I'd take them off and put the character glasses on. So I just took my sunglasses off and put them in my pocket. And he was like, go on, let's get ready. And I just done like 2 or 3 scenes and I suddenly thought, shit, where's my glasses? And I was like, gotta tell him. I can't not tell him. So
Easily done. I think if Game of Thrones can be forgiven for having a Starbucks cup in a scene.
Well, bearing in mind we did have continuity. We had Chris Tompkins, the most continuity guy out of everybody. Like, Jesus. Like, he'd come to me and go, mate, I had black shoes on with different laces on here. It's like, I think we're on a. Can we just change it again? I'm like, well, no one cares about your shoes, mate. And he's just like, I think we should do it again, though. I'm going to change my shoes. I'm like, mate, we can't go again. And then, like, it was, because they'd walked on different feet. Like, him and Ruder had stepped on opposite feet, and he was like, gotta go again, mate, gotta go again. Like, he was on it, like, continuity. I'm like, mate, there is bigger problems in this movie than what you stepped on, trust me.
Damien, in terms of filming, there's obviously a lot of drone shots out there. How did you find the guy that did the POV stuff, the POV drone stuff?
That's Kai. I've known Kai for a long time now. Yeah, he's very, very good at drone stuff. He's a parkour athlete. He's actually sponsored by X Dubai as well, same as me. And obviously I'd seen a lot of his drone stuff personally as well, but then I knew he'd got into first-person view drone stuff as well, like the racing drones. And I just thought no one's ever used that in an action scene before. No one's ever really used it in the movie, because I just said to him, I said, look, I'm really interested in trying to do something with these. You're up for that challenge? He was like, oh yeah, for sure. So he flew out to Dubai. And then obviously he does a lot of work for X Dubai, same as me. So him and his girlfriend Lynn, they were there, and they just, like I say, he crushed it with the drone stuff. Like, we literally flew the drone through a water slide. That's how good he was. Like, we flew it straight through there. Like, some of the stuff he got was incredible. So.
That's very cool. Damien, I can hear the sounds of children slowly waking up. I hope they.
Yeah, I think this is my time that I'm going to have to go, because that children waking up would be. Damien, they're going to come sprinting here in a minute.
Starting with you, just favorite things. Let's go with you. So if you shoot off, you can go. Favorite things, and now that we have the coronavirus, are you likely to start editing it anytime soon?
Oh, right. Now, see, you're listening to them.
He messaged me before saying, I'm outside. I'm waiting on my drive.
That'd be ridiculous. So I nearly dropped myself in it then. Definitely wasn't doing it.
I'm outside doing my drive. He could be inside editing, but no, I'm outside.
Finish now. Jesus. Well, actually, we've now just signed our editor. So basically what I've done is I've edited every single scene together now. It's all done. But very, very rough. And now he's come aboard the last couple of days, and he's just started tidying up all the scenes and starting to link them all together, and basically, going over it with a fine-tooth comb and making sure that it all looks really nice. And to be fair, he's just sent me over the first scene, the art room scene yesterday, and the little changes that he's made have made a really big impact. So yeah, he's done a really good job. So I'm really liking the way he's working, and I think we're, touch wood, going to do some great stuff together. So like I say, he's hopefully going to knock out this thing as quickly as he can. So he reckons between 4 to 8 weeks. So he's trying to do a scene. He's trying to do a scene a day, seeing as he's got nothing else to do. Everyone's on lockdown, aren't they? So,
mate, I wonder if releasing it while everyone's on lockdown isn't a great idea.
Well,
it isn't.
You don't know, eh? So yeah, so like I say, hopefully it's kind of in his hands now. He's tidying it all up and making it. Yeah. So yeah, he's basically tidying it all up. So it's kind of on him really, and he's doing it all out of the proper footage, and then it's being graded and sound and stuff like that. And come here. What are you doing? You say hello. Say hi.
Hello. Are you talking to us or him?
No, I'm talking to him, but I mean, you can say hi if you want. You
I
don't have to do as you told, guys.
Really well.
When's he getting his quarantine haircut?
Yeah, I'm shaving it off. His mum don't want me to.
It's the best look. Shaved head's the best look, mate. You know.
Right, say bye-bye, mister. We're going to go.
All right. Cheers,
Damien.
guys.
Thank you very much.
For your time, man. Take it easy.
All right, say bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, nice hair, mate. I just woke up here. Say bye-bye.
Nah, I'm all right, mate.
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, smiles, though.
Right. See you guys later. Thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy.
I have no idea how to end this. Oh, leave. There you go. Right, top right corner.
This is
Boom.
a nightmare.
Look,
Say bye-bye.
He's as confused as you.
Oh,
bye.
Bye. You got one in.
leave meeting. Yes.
Any
Bye-bye.
time you leave, Damo, milking it now.
He is.
I'm trying to leave.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
He's the director.
He's an awful director. He's an idiot.
Oh, now he's gone. Oof.
Oh, man. That was painful. Greg, as we wrap up, you tell me, what was your favorite part of this, other than obviously starring alongside Paul Lowe?
Honestly, can Anime Art say it was the best thing I've ever done? Best job.
Really? Best feature? Even considering your first one. Like, I'm Number 4 was dope, right?
Yeah, like I didn't really think too much of it back then. I was just I was 13. I was a kid. It was just something to do. Like I didn't see it as a job back then either. But on this, just being with all your mates and being able to make something out of nothing and just, everyone's dedication to it, it's just amazing. Like, it's one of the best things I've ever done. Just being able to make a job with you, like make a film with your friends.
There's something certainly about the creative aspect that gets lost for us on major films. I think our creative license gets taken away so much.
Yeah.
It must have been amazing. And then also to be with your mates, life, as as I get older, I certainly realize it's more and more about experiences with people. And you spend so much time at work, and that's great. But if you can spend time at work, my favorite group are the stunt group anyway. So if I can make the whole group the stunt group, you guys nailed it. If you can make art department, DOP, director, hair and makeup, all the stunt department, like, this is amazing. This is exactly what I want. So that's great. What about you, Loey?
What experiences on the film, or what do you mean?
Your favorite part of the movie, like a part in which you were like, this is dope.
Two things spring to mind.
Said one.
I can just exit this thing now, and then you'll have no interview. So I'm going to answer what I want to answer. The first one was in the school field, and it was where Bobby come over, because that was probably the first time that, as a group of people, something happened.
1 second, Paul.
Sorry.
1 second. Sorry. The internet just goes bad then, and this sounds like something good. So I just wanted that to settle. Go again. So the best part, you in the field with Bobby.
Yeah, it was with me. It was like all us, our group, and then Bobby's group come over, and it was like we filmed it all day, and we just had a laugh. So the footage was amazing, but just as a group of people, because Bobby was just doing this ad-libbing, and we were just in stitches. But the whole process of like us cracking up, and it was just, we all went away from that for about 4 days after it. We were all like on a high buzzing because it was like magic was made. Like, it was just a real cool, fun day. And then it was the same where we all clashed at the end in this field, like this forest. And that was just very similar. We were just all together, and it was like, Greg knows, but there's all these lads and girls from the gym who've grown up with Greg, and who were all around, and they're all part of like the film, but they're all with us, and there's all these people, and there's always like the leads, and Bobby's coming out with all these crackers again, and we've got to like say stuff. It's just, they were like 2 really special days. But then Dubai was a good day, and even after it, so now the film's finished and it's done, I look at the film, it was hard work. It wasn't easy. Like, but I think that's what makes it so rewarding now, is the fact that it was really hard work. Like, Greg probably suffered more than anyone, because he was the lead. He had so much to do, and he was getting smashed about. But you look back at it now, and even though it was really hard, the footage I see looks amazing. And hopefully when people see the acting stuff, you'll enjoy it as a film. So I just think to be a part of it, and to be finally be with that group of people who Damo sort of used to make stuff with. It has been a very rewarding experience for me. And as hard as it was, like I've loved it. Like I've genuinely loved it.
Yeah, like I said at the start, like when he first came to me with it, and he was just saying, "Oh, I've written this," and I'm pitching in ideas and stuff. I just thought it's just going to be another thing we've done. It's going to be fun, and I didn't really understand how big it was, or it could be. I didn't really understand the scale of what it could turn out to be. But then, like I remember kneeling in a desert in front of Bobby and seeing a helicopter fly over my head. About, I'm not kidding you, it must have been about 3-4 foot above Bobby's head. I'm just thinking, what are we making here? I was like, what's going on? It was crazy, absolutely mental. But we're not spoken about Bobby enough on this, but his character is one of my favorite characters. Your character, George, and his are my favorite characters of the film.
Yeah,
like, he just took it and ran. Like he's made that character amazing. I love it.
But you'll see, Doug, when you see it. Like I'm lucky because the character I play is like I can be silly with it, and it's a little bit like me anyway, and you can get away with a lot. Same as Bobby. Bobby is just as funny, but like can be quite silly. Whereas Greg has got a lot of the serious stuff to do, and has got and he smashes it. So you'll see. And I don't want to just keep kissing Greg's ass, but Bobby's class, and we all shine our certain ways because you've got little funny things to do. But he's the star, Greg. Like honest to God, and to see how we work. Listen, put it this way. Sorry to interrupt. Put it this way. The very first day of filming, Greg's the lead part in this. We all filming like this scene. Greg wasn't even filming that day, and he was there giving out teas and to everyone, doing the smoke machine. Like that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying to you, everyone just wants to be a group of people to make something really good. Look, that was the first day of filming, and Greg wasn't filming that day, and he just wanted to be a part and help as much as he can, and that went on with everyone throughout the whole film.
Pure passion project.
What are you going to say?
Passion project, I said.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? There's a famous saying from a poem, which is work should be love made visible. And if you can't work with love, then you should rather gather arms from those that do. The point being, if you can't do what you love, it's better that you beg for money than have to go do something you don't love. Because this is going to be a bit weird and a bit deep for now, but in the yoga scriptures, they talk about even when you make food, you're supposed to put love and time and effort into the food so that that person that consumes it can then consume both the nutrients of the food, but also the time, effort, and love that went in so they can be part of them. And when I hear you guys talking about this, you can't help but feel that extra level of something that goes into it, that it's intangible. You can't really say it out loud, but you feel something different. And when you watch this stuff, it's just incredible to see what you guys have put together. And I think it'll stand testament, and it'll be pioneering. It already is. I can't think of a group of stunt guys that put together a major motion picture. They got together on this scale to make something like this. Like to your point, Greg, about when I saw footage of tanks, motorbikes, and I was like, how is Damien, and credit to Damien, to not have money as a carrot to dangle to get people to do something.
Yeah.
That you have to be a special type of person that has an equal amount of respect and likability that can get people together to fly to Dubai, to make time on weekends to film something, to believe in a project. And that he doesn't give himself enough credit for. There are very few people in the world that can pull that kind of string and have that kind of influence without the power of money. You know, it's amazing that he's been able to do that.
It's difficult because I've seen a lot of it, Greg has, and obviously you might have seen bits as well, Doug. But I know what's coming, as in like, so I speak about it because I've seen the footage and some of the acting stuff, but even the action and everything else. But it's hard because no one has seen it yet. That's why it's exciting for us, because when people start to see a little bit more and things can get released, people will see then. You've got the best stuntmen in the world who threw themselves over to Dubai to work. Like, these are stuntmen who work on the biggest Hollywood films, and they're doing a film that we sort of made in Dubai, and they're as passionate about doing it than as we are. And I think that's what, for me anyway, when the film comes out, I think that'll be seen, because I think the stuff we've done from the stunts, the action, for the acting, from the locations, from the things places we got to film in Derby, it's a credit to everyone. Honest to God, like, genuinely it is.
I think that will be the distribution channels will be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it has all the earmarks of something that goes viral.
Yeah.
And for this reason, a lot of the people you have working on it are mavens within their groups. They're people that are very influential within their social groups, not just amongst other stunt people, but you think of any stunt person who lives in a community. Like, he's usually quite influential. He's quite outgoing. He's quite outspoken, and not outspoken per se, but he's well known. And people see the allure of what we do, and they really get into it. You know, you've all seen it, I'm sure. When you tell someone you're a stuntman, they're like, "Whoa, what?" You know, and a lot of people get into it. And I think everyone's got these social pockets around them, and they've got a bigger sphere of influence than you think. So when all these people that were just in the movie start talking about it as passionately as you guys are and tell their friends, I don't think it'll take long before that web will just, you know, permeate its way out across all sorts of other angles. Because you're not just talking about stunt people. You'll think about hair and makeup. We're like, oh, have you seen that thing Damien did? You know, I think it's well designed.
People are talking about it to me now. When I got on a job and people are saying, and like, I'm not going to mention names, but each one of us has got like famous actor friends or whatever. And every person who, for what Greg has, I have, Damo has, Bobby has, everyone has sent it to them people. There's been nothing but good feedback has come back. And each person has been like, I can't wait to see more of this. This is different. So not that means that the film's going to be a success, but that's if people who make massive films and who are actors in massive films, if they are enjoying what they see, and if like some of them wants to be a part of it, and some people still want to try and help it and progress. Now, if you've got them kind of people who want to try and push it, it's got to be.
Oh yeah, have you
like
lost it too?
The
1 second, Lowy.
Oh, it's gonna be what? It's gonna be what?
That was the biggest anticlimax. Greg, I'm so glad you were here with me. I was like, wow, it's building some steam. So, Paul, you froze at the point that you went. Basically, if people like that, I'll try to do it with your accent. If people like that, I can't do it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know, but if people like that are enjoying what they see, and they have positive things to say, they work in the industry, they make the biggest films, that goes some way to show us and to say to us that we've done something right. You know what I mean? And then people still now, after the film's finished, are still saying, listen, if we can try and help push it somewhere or get doors open for it, like, so that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, everyone who sees it likes it, and even people who I don't know have said to me, oh, I've seen that little clip of this and that looks good, and there's still a little buzz now, and nothing's out at the moment, just some pictures and a little bit of behind the scenes footage.
I'm telling you, releasing it during lockdown, if you could stream it, I just think you've got a captive audience now. People are looking for stuff to do. Yeah, as I've seen you learning ukulele and hosting quizzes. Yeah, you definitely got some time.
Oh, you've got to keep yourself busy, mate. But no, I show it to my group of friends from. We shot this in my town, like 4 minutes from my house. The school.
Big up Belper. Big up Belps.
Big up Belps. Big bad Belps. And like, I show it to my mates just because it was loose. Things in it are loosely based off of my school experiences and stuff, and they absolutely love it. And I can't wait for kind of the people of this small town to be able to see it as well, because they'll be like, oh, I grew up around there, or I did this, or that. You know, it's our home in a way. So it'd be nice for them to see it, and everyone's like buzzing about it around these parts, and they don't know anything about it. That's not in the film industry or anything like that. They don't know anything about filmmaking. They just know, oh, there's a film being shot in our town. Like,
yeah, it's that personal connection that gets people to. They become your marketers for you. You know, each one of those people will be like, this was shot in my town. You know, I know that guy. I did gymnastics with him. I grew up with him. I was at stage school with Paul. You know, that's what I'm saying about stunt people having quite a wide net of influence, because they've tended to do a lot of different things in their life. So my prediction is this will do very well, I think, in a viral way. And I wonder then if a production company doesn't pick it up to then remake it with the full budget and with all the bells and whistles. That's what
I don't know if you'd want to. I don't know if I'd want to.
You think that would take away from some of the charm?
Yeah, of course it would. That's what
he said. He wouldn't have been able to make it with a different kind of like group of people. He wrote it for us. He wrote it in his mind about the people he knew and for kind of us in a way. So if he remade it, then I don't know if it wouldn't work the same. It wouldn't have the same.
When I say with all that stuff, I meant more with all of the budget to do with editing with camera work, cameramen, stuff like that. That's
but that's what I understand what you're saying, but I just think for me, the reason why this is so special for me is that you've got all these people like the DOP and everyone else, and they work really hard to do it, and you'll watch it and you'll go, oh, that I can notice this might be wrong, but that's the beauty of it. It's a low budget film in Derby, you know what I mean? But some of the stuff you'll see will literally, you'll go, fucking hell, because it looked beautiful, it looked amazing. I just think if you then suddenly got offered money to say, go back and make it again, you can go back and get someone else to try and make it with different actors or whatever, that's cool, but to try and make
turn into something else.
Yeah, but this process has been, that's what's amazing about it, and how you sell it. This is a group of stuntmen who've decided to do something and you act and then have got off. Like Greg said before, we're standing there in Dubai and there's tanks pulling up next to me. There's people doing massive big stuff, doing wheelies on motorbikes, with charging. There's got things flying past us. It's like, this is just a low budget film in Derby, and that's the magic of it for me. I think if, people want to put money into it, like to edit it or for the credits, right. But I just think, only my personal opinion, I think it shouldn't be touched by anyone else or tried to be made again.
It's just, to me, it's got the feeling of, I don't know if you ever watched a movie called Dolomite.
Yeah.
I just always think of Dolomite for the stunt. Greg, if you haven't seen it, Eddie Murphy film, well worth watching. Very heartfelt movie. A comedian that believed in himself, and when they didn't want to bankroll his movie, he bankrolled it himself, and then went as far as then even paying for the viewing at the cinema, like taking a loan out, because you have to pay a certain amount for this. Because he was like, don't you pay me for the movie? He says, no, you rent the cinema to play the movie. And he smashed it. Huge profits on it. But it was this idea of self-belief of going, I think what I'm doing is good. And I think other people will enjoy it, and it was, again, a passion thing. Yeah. And it was his mates doing everything.
I hope people do enjoy it. And it's special to me and to everyone involved. So I hope people, see that.
Well, lads, I think that's a good time to wrap this up. I'll tell you what could be cool. Can we do an Instagram photo? At the moment on my screen, there's the three of us in like a triangle. So I've got Greg, you right below me to the left. Yeah. And then Paul Lowe is next to me, straight to my left. Yeah, exactly. So if you point at me, I'll point at Lowe here. And then Lowe, you can point down at, but bring your finger up so it's in screen, like you're professional. Hold on. It's going to be amazing viewership for people on YouTube, and even more for
I'm getting this side of my hair. It's not as grey as that side you've done there.
My hair's been darkened down as well.
You're gorgeous.
1, 2, 3.
Do another. I wasn't looking.
I like it. You're looking at me. I'm looking at Lowe. This is great. I mean, I've gone with a super goofy smile. Here we go, boys. That is. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, nice.
Not bad. Right, boys. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Enjoy. Happy rest of Armageddon. I hope. Hoping all get outside soon, and I hope to see you guys in person sometime soon too. All right. Peace out, guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Hey.
See you later.
I'll leave.
Part of that accent. End meeting. Bottom right.
Bye. Bottom right.